विद्या मंदिर एक ज्ञान साधना, ज्ञान साधना।
विद्या मंदिर एक ज्ञान साधना, ज्ञान साधना।
ज्ञान साधना, ज्ञान साधना।
ज्ञान साधना, ज्ञान साधना।
वर्ण जाती भेद होती लुप्त या स्थळा, प्रगतीचा मार्ग सुज्ञ दाविती जगा।
वर्ण जाती भेद होती लुप्त या स्थळा, प्रगतीचा मार्ग सुज्ञ दाविती जगा।
कला शास्त्र वाणी क्रीडा रुजवी मन मना, ज्ञान साधना।
विद्या मंदिर एक ज्ञान साधना, ज्ञान साधना।
लक्ष साधण्यास दिव्य दृष्टी लाभते, घेण्याहून देण्याची वृत्ती जागते।
लक्ष साधण्यास दिव्य दृष्टी लाभते, घेण्याहून देण्याची वृत्ती जागते।
स्वप्नपूर्तीचा उदात्त हेतु भावना, ज्ञान साधना।
विद्या मंदिर एक ज्ञान साधना, ज्ञान साधना।
पंखाना बळ लाभे या इथे सदा,
पंखाना बळ लाभे या इथे सदा।
बुद्धीचा सूर्य नवा उजळी अंतरा,
बुद्धीचा सूर्य नवा उजळी अंतरा।
यश कीर्ती भावी हाच ध्यास गुरुजना, ज्ञान साधना।
विद्या मंदिर एक ज्ञान साधना, ज्ञान साधना।
ज्ञान साधना, ज्ञान साधना।
ज्ञान साधना।
रसिक हो नमस्कार. सहर्ष सादर करीत आहोत ज्ञानसाधना गीत. कवी प्राध्यापक प्रवीण दवणे, संगीत विनय राजवाडे.
शिवाचे मंदिर सुंदर, मानव्याचा ध्यास निरंतर. सत्य शिवाचे मंदिर सुंदर, मानव्याचा ध्यास निरंतर. गुरु शिष्याच्या नात्यामधली प्रतस्थ मन साधना. सदैव उजळो आपुली ज्ञान साधना, ज्ञान साधना. अज्ञानाचा तमः सारुण, विश्वात्मक स्वर येई उजळून. अज्ञानाचा तमः सारुण, विश्वात्मक स्वर येई उजळून. शूरवीर संतांचे पूजन, जागविते चेतना. ज्ञान ज्योतीने
Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are fine and safe at home. Let us start this session with the Gayatri Mantra chant. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Gayatri Mantra chant was to invoke Goddess Gayatri to give us energy and confidence to do our best. On this note, I, Mrs. Sarika Sagar, welcome you all for the 7-day International Student Development Program, e-learning, Blackboard to Broadband, organized by Satish Pradhan Dnyanasadhana College, Thane, with Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Student Development Program Committee in association with Department of Commerce, University of Mumbai. We all are going through a critical situation in our life. Nobody had expected a pandemic like situation and that it would go on for close to practically 4 months. Every household is trying its level best to cope up with this current scenario. In this time of crisis, a well rounded and an effective educational practice is what is needed for capacity building of young minds. It will develop skills that will drive their employability, productivity, health, and well being in the decades to come and ensure the overall progress of a child. As is rightly said, if it takes a village to raise a child, we must empower the village to teach the child. Satish Pradhan Dnyanasadhana College realized the need to do something about this, and the IQAC and the Student Development Committee, along with the faculty, decided to come up with a program for the students, by the students, for the students across the globe. We are indeed pleased to see students have registered from Hong Kong, Kuwait, Nepal, Saudi Arabia, UK, and US too. In this student development program, our speakers are going to touch upon various aspects from motivating the students to making them understand aspects of cybersecurity, internet banking, to usage of MS Excel, Word, PowerPoint presentations, content writing, digital marketing, free apps and video making. All these topics have been brainstormed by our students, and we are really proud to present to you a complete package for this webinar. As has been said by the Nobel laureate Malala Yousafzai, one child, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world. And our college is taking a baby step for this. On this note, let me welcome you all once again for the 7-day International Student Development Program, e-learning, Blackboard to Broadband. I now take this opportunity to call our principal sir, Dr. Chandrasekhar Marathe sir, who is our backbone and a continuous source of inspiration to present his opening remarks. Over to you, Marathe sir.
Namaste. Thank you, Sarika. On behalf of Satish Pradhan Dnyanasadhana College, I welcome the chairman of our governing body, Honorable Sri Satish Pradhan, Head of the Department of Commerce, University of Mumbai, Professor Kinnari Thakkar, Dr. Shakuntala Kaye, the chairman of Maharashtra State Board of School and Higher Secondary Education, resource person for today's session, a motivator, Ravi Nair, my colleagues, members of the management, and all the participating students. A warm welcome to you all and a very good morning. Our college, formerly known as Dnyanasadhana College, is more than 35-year-old co-educational institute of arts, science, and commerce, including self-finance courses at undergraduate level, BCom Accounting and Finance, BCom Banking and Insurance, Bachelor of Management Studies, BA in Mass Media and Mass Communication, BSc in Computer Science, BSc IT, MSc and MCom at postgraduate level, including doctoral program. We are planning to have BBA, Bachelor of Business Administration in Retail Operations, a 3-year job-oriented course approved by Retail Association of Skill Council of India very soon. We are in the process. I would like to highlight the fact that our institution also offers the Bachelor of Arts in Film, TV, and New Media Production in addition to the above-mentioned courses, which is not found to be offered so commonly in many colleges. We have the state-of-the-art computer labs, and a professional sound studio to support smooth, independent, and efficient functioning of relevant courses. Considering all offered programs, as many as 8,000 plus students are taking education in our institution. The college is NAC accredited in the third cycle May 2019 with B plus grade and CGPA of 2.69 in the new framework implemented by NAC from July 2017 and has produced 4 Shivachatrapati awardees so far in the area of sports. We have our website www.dnyanasadhanacollege.org, and for more open sources of communication, we have created a Facebook page and YouTube channel of the institution wherein most of our programs are made live to the students and to the public around. We are also on Instagram. Our college is also a center for Yashwantrao Chavan Mukta Vidyapit or Maharashtra Chavan Maharashtra Open University for more than 20 years and has A plus grade in which more than 1,000 students are enrolled. The national level student development program titled e-learning from Blackboard to Broadband is a program of the students, by the students and for the students, and is an initiative of internal quality assurance cell of the college. Right from designing of brochures, flyers, PPT videos, all are produced by our own students of film and television, and they are very much involved. Our computer science and IT students have developed an app for the college. I must tell you that the very idea of having this student development program is of our trustees of management, Sri Kamlesh Pradhan and Manasi Pradhan. Both not only suggested the program, but are actively involved in every respect. Our chairman of the governing body, the first mayor of Thane, 2 times member of Rajya Sabha, Honorable Sri Satish Pradhan, and Treasurer Sri Satish Sheth constantly keep giving us impetus and encouragement in having such programs. We are really fascinated and overwhelmed by the participation response we received when this program was made available on social media and other platforms. We have a humongous participation of 25,000 plus participants all across India and abroad. We have seen a participation of 106 from Kuwait, 99 from Nepal, 24 from Oman, 9 from Saudi Arabia, and other countries like United Kingdom, United States, UAE, Nigeria, Ghana, Hong Kong, and Ethiopia. Therefore, our student development program has now gone global and became international. Our organizing team, led by Dr. Bhushan Langi and Shraddha Bhume, Dr. Anita Dakshina, and other members, successfully obtained the collaboration of the Department of Commerce, University of Mumbai. Our team has taken a lot of efforts in the smooth and effective design of this program and has not left any stone unturned towards the same. I must tell you that the same organizing committee organized successfully a faculty development program for teachers from 30th of May to 3rd of June, wherein we received tremendous response of more than 27,000 participants from India and abroad. This was conducted despite Nisarga storm struck on 3rd June, and there was no loss of connectivity and went on smooth. However, I would like to remind you that network connectivity does matter a lot during such programs, and our IT team has taken all possible measures to prevent any disruption. Nevertheless, if errors and omissions are unfortunately and unexpectedly encountered during the program, then we apologize for the inconvenience caused in advance and request you to bear with us in such cases. Now, without any further ado, I would like to move towards the inauguration of the program. I declare that the Student Development Program is inaugurated. Soon we'll be launching an app developed by our students on this occasion. I am sure that this 6-day student development program will be a treasure for the students because of its contents and presenters who are great in their fields. With this, I conclude and wish our organizing committee a grand success and students a good takeaway from this student development program. Thank you.
Many thank you, Marathi sir, for your encouraging words and always being a support to us. And 3 cheers to the CSIT team who have developed the app. Today, we are indeed privileged to have Dr. Kinari Thakkar ma'am, Professor and Head of the Department of Commerce, Chairperson of the Student Development Program. A brief introduction of Dr. Kinari Thakkar ma'am. Dr. Kinari Thakkar ma'am is an MCOM gold medalist, MBA, CS, CMA, and a PhD from University of Mumbai. She is a chairperson, Board of Studies in Banking and Finance, member of Board of Studies in Accountancy, a special invitee of Board of Studies in Business Management. She is a PhD guide in Accountancy, MPhil guide in Commerce. Ma'am is also a Vice Chancellor nominee as a subject expert for appointment of teachers in various colleges. She is a recipient of various awards and the most prominent among them being Shri M.A. Master Memorial Gold Medal for securing highest marks in MCOM. The Sydenham College of Commerce and Economics Golden Jubilee Trust Gold Medal. The Government Dakshina Scholarship. Ma'am has published 10 books in accountancy and close to 55 research articles in various journals. She also has contributed in the development of workbook and handbook at NVEQF Level 4 in Retail Management for NCRT under MHRD, Government of India. She is also the chairperson and the moderator for various subjects at post-graduation level for examinations conducted by University of Mumbai and Bharati Vidyapit University, Pune. I welcome you again on this virtual platform. Over to you, Dr. Kinari Thakkar ma'am.
A very good morning to one and all. Honorable Shri Satish Pradhan ji, respected Dr. Marathi sir, Principal of Satish Pradhan Dnyanasadhana College, Dr. Shakuntala madam, other dignitaries of Satish Pradhan Dnyanasadhana College, the organizing team, and dear participants. At the outset, I extend a warm welcome to each one of you on behalf of Department of Commerce, University of Mumbai. The Department of Commerce was established on 1st December 1980 with the purpose of actively promoting and initiating research activities. And since then, with the advancing frontiers of commerce and technology, the department is doing a lot of research activities at national and with the national and international collaboration. It is my privilege to be a part of this inaugural function which is so well conceived and well accepted, and with an overwhelming participation of more than 20,000 plus participants. Friends, I will start my inaugural address with a quote of Bill Gates. He said once, if your business is not on internet, then your business will be out of business. In this COVID-19 era, during the time of pandemic, this is one of the most relevant statement, and it is also an inspiration behind articulating the vision of today's student development program from e-learning, from Blackboard to Broadband. Friends, the entire world is witnessing crisis at various levels due to the pandemic situation. And there are irrational changes and disruption in our schedules, creating a climate of uncertainty. At this time, what keeps one active is self-motivation and your own driving force. The landscape of education has undergone a complete change in the past few months. The online teaching learning has taken front seat. The future of education henceforth will be hybrid and blended learning, and the online visibility has become the new norm. No stakeholder can be an exception. After all, survival of the fittest is the mantra. Friends, utilizing this opportunity in a very positive spirit, one needs to be constructive in their thoughts. And it is imperative to expand your knowledge domain not only vertically but horizontally also. And such development programs aimed to gear the students towards enhancing their abilities will set the ball rolling. This platform will enable you to connect yourself beyond your area of expertise. It will be instrumental in sharpening your skills to face the outside competition by developing your competencies. It will ignite your thought process and help you in carving a niche for yourself. I convey my best wishes to all for enhancing and enlightening experience, and hope that you have many takeaways after the completion of this program. All the best to all of you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, once again for your inspiring thoughts and support and faith entrusted upon us. I thank you once again. Moving to the next guest of honor, we indeed consider it our pride to have her here today with us. Our second guest of honor is very versatile and an ace personality. Her academic journey is really intriguing. She started her academic career as a primary school teacher and moved on to become a secondary school teacher. In 1993, ma'am joined administrative services, and from there was no looking back. She took the post of Deputy Educational Officer and the head of the Department of the Women Extension Cell till she became an educational officer. She was selected as a divisional secretary, assistant director, and then she took up the challenge of becoming the chairperson for the divisional board of Ratnagiri. Today, she holds the position of the chairperson of the Maharashtra State Board for secondary and higher secondary education. She is none other than Dr. Shakuntala Kale ma'am. She is an MA, B.Ed and a PhD holder. She has worked extensively on projects relating to girl education and gender equality. She is a recipient of various awards and accolades. Without wasting any further time, I welcome Dr. Shakuntala Kale ma'am on this virtual platform. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello. सगळ्यांना नमस्ते. या उद्घाटनाच्या प्रसंगी उपस्थित ज्ञान साधना कॉलेजचे मॅनेजमेंटचे प्रमुख प्रधान सर, प्राचार्य मराठे सर, किन्नरी मॅडम, इतर सगळे अध्यापक आणि उपस्थित सर्व विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, आज खरं म्हणजे मला एका वेगळ्या प्रोग्राम मध्ये येण्याची संधी मिळाली. या आपल्या परिस्थितीमध्ये म्हणजे कोविडच्या ह्या कधी न अनुभवलेल्या अभूतपूर्व परिस्थितीमध्ये आपली शाळा कॉलेजेस बंद आहेत. पण शाळा कॉलेजेस बंद असले तरी शिक्षण थांबू नये अशी आम्हा सर्वांची इच्छा असते. आणि मला वाटतं की काही ना काही उपक्रम चालू आहे. आणि मला या सगळ्या उपक्रमांकडे मी जेव्हा पाहते हे ऑनलाईन चाललेले उपक्रम, तेव्हा मला कविवर्य बाभ बोरकरांच्या 2 ओळी आठवतात. ते असं म्हणतात की देखणे जे हात ज्यांना निर्मिण्याचे डोहाळे, मंगलाने गंधलेले सुंदराचे सोहळे. आणि हे हात बहुतेक शिक्षण क्षेत्रातल्या अध्यापकांच्या हातांना म्हणाले असावेत असं मला वाटतं की नेमकी निर्मिती करताना त्यांच्या पुढे शिक्षकांचे हात असतील. आज या कॉलेजने हा जो ब्लॅकबोर्ड टू ब्रॉडबँड हा जो कार्यक्रम हाती घेतलेला आहे, याचं मला विशेष कौतुक यासाठी वाटलं की कॉलेजला आपल्या पुरता मर्यादित हा कार्यक्रम करता आला असता, फक्त आपल्या विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी. परंतु कॉलेजचे प्राध्यापक, प्रिन्सिपल आणि मॅनेजमेंटच्या लोकांनी हा विचार केला की ही संधी आपल्यासह इतर सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांना विनामूल्य मिळावी आणि त्यांना ह्या शिकण्याच्या संधीची उपलब्धता करून दिल्याबद्दल मला विशेष कौतुक वाटलं. आणि दुसरी गोष्ट मला इथे येण्याला जिने विवश केलं ती अशी की हा प्रोग्राम हा विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी घडवलेला प्रोग्राम आहे. आणि मी या शिक्षण क्षेत्रात इतके दिवस काम करते, मला माहित आहे की शिक्षक विद्यार्थी आंतरक्रिया अध्ययनाच्या दृष्टीने खूप महत्वाची आहे. पण सर्वात परिणामकारक ठरणारी आंतरक्रिया म्हणजे विद्यार्थी विद्यार्थी आंतरक्रिया. आपल्याच वयाचे विद्यार्थी, आपल्याच सारखे असणारे, आपल्याच अनुभव विश्वासी साधर्म्य असलेले विद्यार्थी जेव्हा आपल्याला एखादी गोष्ट सांगतात, तेव्हा आपल्याला असं वाटतं की यांना जमतं मग मला का नाही जमणार. आणि ही जी भावना आहे ही प्रेरणेची अत्युच्च भावना आहे. आणि ही जी मुलं आहेत यांचंही मला कौतुक वाटतं की त्यांच्या शिक्षकांनी यासाठी परिश्रम घेतले, नो डाऊट. पण ही मुलं आपण शिकलेली कौशल्य इतर मुलांमध्ये संक्रमित करणार आहेत. आणि हे करत असताना त्यांना हा कॉन्फिडन्स आहे की मी जे शिकलोय ती मी चांगल्या प्रकारे इतरांमध्ये संक्रमित करू शकतो. आणि हा आत्मविश्वास शिकताना येणारा आणि शिकवताना येणारा असा दुहेरी आत्मविश्वास आपण या मुलांमध्ये निर्माण केलात, याबद्दल मी तुम्हा सर्वांचं म्हणजे तुमचे अध्यापक, प्राचार्य, मॅनेजमेंट सर्वांचं कौतुक करते की खरंच ही गोष्ट खूप चांगली आहे. आणि दुसरी एक गोष्ट म्हणजे की काल मला जो आकडा सांगितला की 21,000 मुलांनी आजपर्यंत पार्टिसिपेट केले. किती हा मोठा आकडा आहे की जेथे फक्त कॉलेजचे समजा जास्तीत जास्त 1,000, 1,200, 2,000 विद्यार्थी सहभागी झाले असते, ते एवढे सगळे विद्यार्थी यात सहभागी होतात. आणि यासाठी निवडलेलं जो विषय आहे MS वर्ड, सायबर सिक्युरिटी जी आता खूप महत्वाची आहे, त्याचबरोबर तुमचं कॉमर्सची जी स्किल आहेत ती स्किल, आणि सर्वात महत्वाचं म्हणजे आत्ताच्या या परिस्थितीमध्ये तुम्ही बाहेर पडू शकत नाही, तुम्ही प्रत्यक्ष भेटू शकत नाही. या काळात तुमच्या मनात उठणाऱ्या ह्या विचार तरंगांना आणि अकारण उद्भवणाऱ्या ताणाला सामोरं जाताना हे ताणतणावाचं व्यवस्थापन कसं करावं हा विषय खूप महत्वाचा आहे. आणि यासाठी आपण वेगवेगळे सेशन्स ठेवलेले आहेत, त्या विषयातले तज्ञ आणि प्लस आपले सारे विद्यार्थी हे तुम्हा सर्वांना मार्गदर्शन म्हणजे सर्वांनाच हे कौशल्य विकसनासाठी मोटिवेट करणार आहेत. आणि तुम्ही ह्यातनं एक चांगला अनुभव घ्याल, चांगले कौशल्य तुमच्यात संक्रमित होतील, विकसित होतील. पण याचबरोबर या सगळ्या मंडळींनी जे परिश्रम घेतलेले आहेत, हे सगळे परिश्रम जेव्हा सार्थकी लागतील, जेव्हा तुमच्यातले सारे जण ही कौशल्य शिकतील आणि त्याच्यातनं तुम्हाला जे अनुभव आले त्या अनुभवांचं शेअरिंग करेल. आणि तुम्ही जेव्हा हे अनुभव यांना कळवाल, कशाने म्हणजे आता तर ईच कळवावं लागणार आहे. तर हे अनुभव मला ऐकायला, वाचायला नक्कीच आवडेल. या निमित्ताने या सगळ्या मंडळींनी जे परिश्रम घेतलेले आहेत, खरं म्हणजे प्रत्येक गोष्ट शासनाने करावी असं नाही, तर आपण सारेच शासन आहोत आणि आपण सगळ्यांनी जो प्रयत्न केलेला आहे हा निश्चितच कौतुकास्पद आहे. मी यासाठी आपले कॉलेजचे प्राचार्य, आपल्या व्यवस्थापनाचे सर्व पदाधिकारी आणि आपले सर्व अध्यापक मंडळी आणि विशेष खास करून यांचं अभिनंदन की जे विद्यार्थी पुढे आलेत आणि हे विद्यार्थी हे सारं ट्रान्समिट करतायत आणि दुसऱ्यांनाही आत्मविश्वास देतायत आणि या तुमच्या या कृतीने इतर मुलांमध्ये जी प्रेरणा निर्माण होणार आहे ही प्रेरणा शिक्षणाच्या प्रोसेसमध्ये खरोखरीच अत्यंत महत्वाची आणि परिणामकारक अशी आहे. म्हणून या ज्ञानसाधना विद्यालयाने हा जो ज्ञानयज्ञ केलेला आहे या ज्ञानयज्ञात मला छोटीशी संविधा टाकण्याची जी संधी दिली त्याबद्दल मी आपल्या सर्वांचे आभार मानते आणि तुम्हा सर्व पार्टिसिपंट मुलांना पुन्हा एकदा खूप खूप शुभेच्छा देते. तुमचा हा प्रत्यक्ष कॉलेजमध्ये नाही पण अप्रत्यक्ष शिकण्याचा हा अनौपचारिक शिक्षण कार्यक्रम छान व्हावा आणि तुम्ही सगळेजण जे काही पुढे शैक्षणिक कार्य कराल त्या साऱ्याला माझ्या शुभेच्छा. धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shakuntala Kale ma'am, for your guidance. I am sure your guidance can help us take this baby step to the next level. Thank you once again. It's now time to propose the vote of thanks for the inaugural function. It's my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of the most valued members of the inaugural program. On behalf of my college, I extend a hearty vote of thanks to the Chairperson of Student Development Program, CMA, Dr. Kinnari Thakkar ma'am, Chairperson Maharashtra State Board of Secondary and Higher Secondary Education, Dr. Shakuntala Kale ma'am, who spared their time from their busy schedule to grace the occasion. Your assistance and support has helped us create a new platform for our student development. My gratitude to all the speakers for gracing this occasion and sharing their opinions today. I am immensely thankful to our President, Shri Satish Pradhan sir, our Principal, Dr. Chandrasekhar Marathe sir, for their constant support and encouragement in every endeavor that we undertake for the institution. I am also thankful to Mr. Kamlesh Pradhan sir, Secretary and Trustee, Mrs. Manasi Pradhan ma'am, Trustee, and Mr. Satish Seth sir, Treasurer, for their constant support. I now request our student Ms. Shetty to introduce our first speaker for the Student Development Program, Mr. Ravi Nair.
As Charles Darwin says, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. Good morning, everyone. I, Ms. Shetty, would like to welcome you all to the week-long e-learning Blackboard to Broadband, a student development program. We have organized this student development program so that we students who have been highly affected due to the pandemic are able to enrich and grow ourselves with knowledge. Therefore, I would now like to introduce our honorable speaker for the day, Mr. Ravi Nair, who is going to speak on general motivation, going beyond your thoughts. Mr. Ravi Nair is a senior management professional with over 30 years of experience, out of which he has rendered his expertise for 14 years in United States government, 16 years in private sector in leadership position with global exposure in training and development. Mr. Ravi Nair is an alumnus of IIM Lucknow and a master trainer for neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotherapy. Mr. Ravi Nair has to his name prestigious achievements such as the Benjamin Franklin Award USA, the Meritorious Honor Award by the former US Ambassador David Milford, Besides his corporate and academic achievements, Mr. Ravi Nair is not only an Amazon best-selling author for the book Weekend Miracle, but also has proved his talent in singing. I would now like everyone to join me in welcoming the very talented and charming speaker for today, Mr. Ravi Nair.
Hello guys, good morning. I hope you all can hear me. And thank you for being here in such large numbers. And thank you for all the people who are behind this program. I mean, I've never come across such a wonderful 7-day program, which is purely focused on grooming students and also lectures around the country. So I'm going to start my day today. I'm not going to say much about it because there's already too much of introduction which has already been done. So I'm going to start the day with the context. And we keep hearing this word all the time, context. And if you have to say in Marathi, called it a sandar, okay. But, and we all have different meanings about it, you know about it. But I'm going to tell you my perspective about context and how it drives your lives on a daily basis. So if you get this, guys, I'm telling you, you can actually create miracles in your life, okay. So let's understand context. So let me tell you context from the global perspective, okay. So let's look at the context of countries, okay. So the context of America is that it is a clean country. So what happens is one of us goes from here, goes to America, we eat a chocolate and the wrapper straight away goes in the dustbin. We don't put it on the road because the context of the country gives you action. Remember this. So in this session, the first part, what you're going to learn is how context gives you action and action gives you results, okay. So most of the times we operate in default context in life, and that is what I'm trying to bring out. So now this same person who's in the US, he comes back to India, he has a chocolate, and where does the wrapper go? On the street, because the context of the country is it is okay to litter on the street, but the chalta hai, it's okay, you know, that kind of attitude. So it's the context which drives you action on a daily basis, and that action gives you result. Another example which comes to my mind is let's look at the context of weekend. So context of the weekend is just chill out and relax, right? So weekend, what happens when you have to go to work, suppose, or you have to work on a weekend on a Saturday, Sunday, you don't get action, or your performance is below 50% purely because the context of the default context of the weekend gives you action, right? Now look at everything in your life. Like I'm going to routine examples now. Let's look at somebody who goes to the gym or goes for his running or exercise or whatever. What is his context? So the context of somebody who goes to the gym, like, you know, I was speaking to a couple of people. So one guy said, my context of going to the gym is like, you know, I want to attract girls. I want to impress girls, right? And I spoke to another guy and he said, my context of going to the gymnasium is I want to be fit for my whole life. Now, what I'm trying to bring out here, friends, is that it is not about right or wrong context, good or bad context. It is about having a powerful context in life, because the more powerful your context is, that will give you better actions and better results, right? So in this example of the gymnasium, you see there are two different guys. They have two different contexts. So one context is that I'm going to the gym to impress girls. So now I wanted to understand how the mind works here, right? He goes to the gym for 2-3 months, right? And he gets toned up, he looks nice or whatever. And somebody tells him, maybe a female tells him that, oh, you look handsome, you look fit and toned. A message is sent to the mind that context is achieved, so stop action. What happens after 1 or 2-3 months? He stops action, right? But the other guy whose context is very powerful, that I'm going to the gym because I want to stay fit for my whole life. He keeps going to the gym throughout the year, 2 years, 3 years, and he's continuous, he's very regular because his context is powerful. So friends, anything you do in life, always check your context. So how do you change your context? Always remember, we always operate in a default context. So it's very easy to change your context. So whenever you get into anything new, for example, let's take today's session. Okay? So before getting to today's session, like there are 15,000 to 20,000 people on this session right now. everybody will have different context. So some guy, some people will have a context that let me go and get something out of this 7 days, right? Some people have a context. Oh, let me see here. I mean, it's a free session. Okay, let me see if it's worth it. I'll go for it. Somebody must be just coming on like onto the screen for probably just spending some time out there, like saying some hello to friends. All context, like I said, I'm not saying right or wrong context, good or bad context. What I'm trying to say is, if your context is not powerful, at the end of 7 days, you will feel that I have not got anything much out of this session. Like, there are a lot of good speakers coming out. They're going to deliver a lot of interesting things. In fact, if you see what I'm going to give today, I'm going to put across my 30 years of experience. So I would not want anybody to miss out on that. I hope you're getting it. So I want to set a context for today. And the context for today is something which, like, it's very different to interact with all of us. But wherever you are listening, I want you to set a context. Whatever context you had in the beginning of the session, but right now I want you to set a new context. And the new context could be, possibly from my side, is I'm here to extract the maximum and transform your life in these 7 days. So get a powerful context in place. Whatever you feel right about. I'm not saying use this one, but I'm saying I'll use the 7 days to bring some transformation in my life. Now that is something really powerful, and that will keep you going for 7 days, right? So, and it's not here. It's like, you go anywhere in the future. Like, there are a lot of students I heard on this group, and a good number of teachers and lecturers also. It is your context which drives your life on a daily basis. Always, whenever you feel upset, sad about doing something, you're not getting success, I wanted to check the context. Why did we start this whole thing in the first place, right? So I hope you're going to start the session today and this whole week with a new context that each of us will try to transform our life in these next 7 days. So are you all? I'm just looking at your YouTube stuff just to see. Yeah, so I'm speaking in English. Somebody said that speak in English. So the whole conversation till now was in English. But anyway, I'll just carry on. So with this new context in mind, let's keep going. So one of the things which I thought I'll bring out to all of you today is, like, there are a lot of people I coach from the corporate sector, and they keep talking about stress. So I thought one of the things I'll address today is stress. And I'm not going to ask you how many of you are stressed, because stress is something good in life. You need some stress in life. It's not that, if somebody is looking for, like, there's a joke. There was a speaker who came for a similar speech, and he asked everybody out there in the audience, like, how many of you want to be absolutely stress-free? This was stress chain. Okay, so everybody raised their hand. So he said, while coming to this auditorium, on the way, I saw a place, and there are a lot of people there, and nobody had stress, right? So everybody said, sir, where could be that place, where there is no stress at all? So this man said, it's right from here, like, half a kilometer from here. So everybody said, please share the address. He said, that's a cemetery. Okay, so if you have this thing in mind that, the stress will get over, like, you can get over stress. This is something which is there in life. It will stay with us, and some amount of stress is really good. But what I want to address here today is, how many of you really understand stress? Like, we use this word very commonly, like saying that, oh, I'm stressed, I'm sad, I'm stressed, whatever. But how many of you really understand stress? So let me just show you some science behind it, which will help you help understand this whole thing. So there is something called as the fight and the flight motion, which all animals practice, and we are also in a way animal. We evolved from the monkeys, right? So what is this fight and flight motion? Okay, so when a situation comes, every animal will either fight it or they'll fly away from it. It is called the fight or the flight motion. Okay, so let's take the example of a leopard. A leopard is chasing a deer. Okay, and the deer is running for his life, and in most of the cases, you see the leopard manages to catch the deer, but in some cases, the deer gets away. And that day was the lucky day for the deer. So what happened was, the leopard was at full speed, and the deer ducked him out, And finally, the deer escaped. The leopard could not get the deer. Now, the next scene is the deer is having water in a small lake. And that's it. Now, what happened in this case was, the same thing applied, the fight or the flight motion. Now, the deer can't fight a leopard. So, what happened was the deer started running, right? And after a certain point, he ran away, and then he was at peace. He is drinking his water, sipping his water, and he's enjoying himself. Unfortunately, what happens with human being is the same thing. We also apply the same mechanism, which is called the fight or the flight mechanism. Okay, but what happens with us is, in situations where we are not able to fight and we are not able to fly, we get trapped in between, and that is called as the stress. So, for example, I'll tell you, you might have an issue with the parents, like something, you had a fight at home or whatever, or you had an issue with your boss, right? So you are not able to fight with the boss at that point of time. Okay, but you are able to fly away from the situation. So you went away from the situation and you're sitting there. But now the problem is, your thoughts have started. You started thinking, oh, is my boss playing politics with me? Is he biased against me? Is he after my job? Okay, things like this. Now, what has happened here is, you are not able to fight a situation, neither are you able to fly away from the situation, because you're constantly thinking about that situation. Now, since you're not able to do both, you're stuck in between, and that is called a stress. And that is what exactly happens to most of us. If you're not able to fight or fly away from a situation, you get stuck in between, and that is called a stress. So there are two types of stress if you look at it. One is psychological stress, and the other one is situational stress. Now, this is very simple. I'll try to explain it to you so that you understand how thoughts influence you on a daily basis. So, for example, you're sitting in your house or the office or wherever, right? And suppose there is a small fire in the house. Now, you'll do two things. You'll either fight the fire. If it's a small fire, you'll go take the fire extinguisher and put out the fire, right? But suppose it is a big fire, then you fly out of the place. You go and call the fire department. They'll come and put out the fire. So what did you do? You did two things. When the fire was there, you fought the situation, you'll fight the situation, or you'll fly away from the situation, right? But now starts the real problem. Next day, you're sitting again at your home or at your office, and you're sitting and thinking about something. What? Will there be fire again? Will something go wrong? Will I get? Is it dangerous for me? Now you're sitting and thinking about it all the time. There's no fire, but you are not able to sit there and work also. Now this is imaginary fear which you have created. I hope you're getting it. Now, in this imaginary situation, since there is no situation, you can't fight or fly. There's nothing to fight and nothing to fly, because it is all created in your mind. I hope you're getting it. That is where the stress comes in. Half of the stress, most of the stress are actually coming in because of your imaginations. I hope you all are getting it, because I really wanted you to understand stress. Like, we keep using this word throughout the day, throughout our life, but what I want you all to understand is, whenever you come across this word in your life, you use this word, think, is it because of my imaginations or of real life situations? And you will realize that most of the time, it is purely because of imagination. Like, the exams are coming, what happens? What happens when the exams are coming? Like, in case of the recent incident which happened with one of the actors. I'm not taking the name, but we all know that. Like, his last movies were good. Like, he made money, everything was good. But he is imagining something on his own. Like, he had good series of movies which were happening. Everything was fine in his life. But something must be going on with imagination. That is why we all are surprised that he gave back-to-back hits. Everything good for him. He had good money also probably with him. But then what was he imagining? What was he thinking? So, friend, this is what happens. Most of the time in real life, nothing much is really happening. Most of the things are only happening in your head. Right? So the next question I want to ask you is, what does thought create? What does thought create? So thoughts create emotions. Remember this. Every time you have a thought, your thought creates emotions. Now I'll give you an example. So let's take the example that you are sitting at home and you get a text message that there is an sale in a mall near your house. Okay, nowadays I know there's a lockdown, but let's take this example. So now you're sitting at home on a Sunday morning and you get a WhatsApp message that there's a huge sale, 70% off in a mall near your house. Now your thoughts is you got a thought of shopping. The thoughts gave rise to emotion. What is the emotion? Happy emotion. You're very happy about it, right? Emotions leads to decisions. Now you took the decision to go to the mall and do some shopping, right or wrong? Now you're sitting at home by afternoon. You call up one friend. You said, let me call my friend also. We'll both go to the mall together, right? You call up this friend, and this friend tells you, oh my God, I went today morning and I could not find anything here. It was hopeless. There's no sale at all. It is really hopeless. Now what happens? You again get a thought. Oh my God, I should have gone yesterday. And I missed such an opportunity. Again, thought gives rise to emotion. Now what happened? Suddenly you are upset. You're frustrated. So morning you got a thought about the same shopping and you got very happy. Thoughts gives rise to emotion. Remember this. Afternoon, again you got a thought. This thought gave rise to frustration. Right? You're upset. Now around 4 o'clock in the evening, you get a call from another friend, a third friend, who calls up and tells you, boss, you should have gone for the sale. What a sale, man. What beautiful stuff at what beautiful prices. Now you again started thinking, why did I listen to that guy? And why did he tell me this? What was the intention behind lying to me? Now you got another emotion out of that thought, anger. Now see the beauty of this. In this whole day, you've done nothing. But 3 different times you went through 3 different emotions just based on thoughts. Morning you are happy, afternoon you are frustrated, and by evening you are very angry. Right? So one very important thing to understand here is, it is most of the time, it is your thoughts which creates emotions. Okay, and emotions leads to decisions. Decision leads to actions. So whatever you do nowadays, watch your thoughts. It's very important to watch your thoughts. And one of the other things which I want to bring up to all of you is, every thought has a physiological impact. There is a mind-body connection which happens all the time. Okay. So now to give you an example on that, let's imagine. I want all of you to think. Close your eyes for a moment and just stick your tongue out like this. And imagine me peeling a juicy lime on your tongue. Just imagine me doing that, like a juicy lime on your tongue. And how do you experience it? I'll just give you a couple of seconds. Just imagine that I'm doing this. Like there's a lime juice falling on the tip of your tongue. And it's all going inside. How do you feel now? So if I'm not wrong, you all felt like salivating, right? Your mouth started watering. Now, did you realize what happened? None of you guys had lime. But whenever you have a thought, your body never understands if it is real or imaginary. Your body always believes that it is true. Take another example of ghost. You're sitting at home, you're working on something, you're doing some work and stuff like that, and suddenly the power supply goes off. It's dark, like in the night, and suddenly you hear some sound here and there, right? And you start sweating. So if you realize what has happened is, your body responds to your thoughts immediately. So it doesn't understand what you're thinking is real or imaginary. The body will start responding almost instantly. So that is another reason why you should be very careful about your thoughts. So for example, when how you can make yourself sick. Like suppose you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you, oh, I've seen a report, I need to take a couple of more tests. So let's meet after a week. Now, whole week you start thinking about some disease. What will happen? And I hope it's not something bad, something not worse and stuff like that. And honestly, by end of the week, your body will start responding to the thoughts. And it will actually start falling sick. Like for example, many a times you go to the doctor when you're sick or fever or something, and he gives you some vitamin tablets or some chocolate tablets, basically. Sugar, they call it sugar pills. And people get well. Because what happens, he starts thinking, oh, now I've gone to the doctor. So now I'll be fine. And your body starts responding to that thoughts. So as kids, as you're all studying, a lot of kids are studying, there are exams, a lot of pressures. Be very careful about your thoughts. Be very careful about your thoughts. Like, don't get it unnecessary, because your thoughts has an impact. Your body will start responding to your thoughts. Like, for example, if you start thinking a particular subject is hard, like you start thinking, oh, I don't know, biology is so difficult, or science is so whatever. The body starts believing that it is difficult. So what will happen now is, whenever you try to pick up that subject, your body will not allow you to pick up that subject. It will not respond. I hope you're getting it. Yeah, so you start avoiding. So you pick up the book and you say, oh, okay, let me do it afterwards. Procrastination. You start procrastinating it because you have tuned your body to listen to your mind. So that brings me to another subject, and which is, I hope all of you are getting it till now. So how do you catch yourself when you have these thoughts coming in? Like, it rains literally. I know how it is, how thoughts are. One of the ways, focus on something else. Always remember, thoughts always come either from the future or from the past. It never comes from the present, right? So suppose you're attending this webinar right now, okay? And suppose the movie theaters are on and you booked a ticket for evening today, right? And suppose the webinar moved towards like 4, 5, 6 o'clock, whatever, like in the evening. Suddenly you start thinking, oh, it's time for the movie here. So every moment we live ahead of time, or our thoughts come from behind. So suppose you're going for an interview, right? And suppose in the past you had some bad experience in the interview. Now that past will keep coming back. Most of the times your thoughts either come from the future or from the past. So if you have to catch yourself and get out of this thought thing, one of the best things to do is get to the present. And one of the ways is get aware of what is happening around. Bring your thoughts back. One of the ways, get present to your breathing. Keep your hand on your chest. Start breathing. Start focusing on your breath, like how it goes in, goes out, and immediately you'll cut off from the thought. Immediately you'll cut off from the thought. That is one of the ways of doing it. So, so that's why you say meditation helps. Because in meditation, what happens is you close your eyes, ears, and you're cut off from the world. You are with yourself at that moment, and so the amount of data which comes in through your eyes, ears, nose, you smell, whatever, everything gets cut off literally. That is why meditation works, friends. So another request for you is, like, all those people everybody gets thoughts, but some people who have a lot of issues with thought, anxiety issues and negative thought, start practicing meditation. That will really, really, really help you. That's one of my requests and advice to all of you. It really helps. Start with maybe 2 or 3 minutes, then go to 5 minutes, then go to 10 minutes, then go to 15 minutes, and slowly you'll probably reach maybe like half an hour to 45 minutes or 1 hour, but doesn't matter. Start it. That's very important, right? The second way of doing it is start looking at things from a new perspective. It's very important how you change your perspective, right? So everything in life is a perspective. There is nothing right and wrong in this world. But what happens many a times is we're stuck to a certain perspective of life, right? So how do you do this is, I'm going to ask you all a question. How many you people on the webinar think that they're human beings? Just type yes if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube or whatever. Just keep typing yes. If you think you're a human being, please type yes. Okay. So yes, that's a fact. But you are also, besides a human being, I would say more than a human being, you are a meaning-making machine. Both you and me, we all are meaning-making machines. So what we do is every second we make meanings. Every second, that's what we do. So I'll give you an example how this meaning thing works. So you are at home and your dad said, I don't know what you'll do in your life. Immediately give meaning. Lot of meaning. So people give like, oh, my dad doesn't love me. He is like biased. He never tells this to my younger brother. He always tells this to me. Every second, if you look in your life, we give meanings. Like you call up a friend, he doesn't pick up the phone. Immediately another meaning, right? Oh, I think he's acting too smart. And if you look back in life, most of the stress, most of the problems have come because of the meaning you give to a certain incident. All your thoughts come based on the meaning you give to certain things in life, right? So if there is failure in life before, what depends is what meaning did you give to that failure, right? Did you tell yourself that time, oh, I think I'm not capable, I don't think I can do it? That's the meaning you give. Now that meaning is going to drive your life. So next time you again pick up something new to do, this meaning will play a very important role. So it is very important to catch yourself in regards to the meaning which you give to every moment of your life. Like today people get depressed even if they're thrown out of a WhatsApp group. Like recently I was coaching somebody, and that person was a bit upset. He said, I was in a group of friends and suddenly somebody just removed me. And this guy did not speak to any of those people for almost 10 to 15 days. Luckily, during the coaching session, he came up with this thought and he asked me, sir, that this is one thing is really bothering me. And I said, this is the meaning you gave to the whole thing. He said, why did you call up the admin? Then ask him, who the friend is, who made this group. When he called him, what happened was that guy did not even notice. It has happened by mistake. He said, I didn't even realize. It must happen by some mistake. I don't know, I was doing adding or deleting something, anything happened. But for 2 weeks, this guy sat with the meaning that I was intentionally removed from this group. Now look at this. 2 weeks of stress and anger and a lot of negative thoughts purely because he didn't clarify it. So I hope you guys are getting it. The essence of how meaning drives every moment of your life, friends. This is like something very, very, very crucial. So that is one of the reasons most of the stress in our life exists, because the meaning we give to every incident. And if you can really control that or relook. So one of the ways you can look at how to actually control this is very simple. So let's take an example that one of you are sitting at home and your dad told something to you, or your teacher in the professor or your professor in your class told you something. Maybe he said you're not good at science. I don't know what you'll do in your future, or something like that. Or a dad told you by mistake, or in a kind of conversation that I feel you're an idiot, something like that. He just said it. And while going out of the room, you made a meaning out of it that, oh, my dad doesn't love me. He doesn't care for me. He always insults me, stuff like that. Imagine a CCTV camera on top. Just imagine a camera on top of that room where that incident happened. Just imagine that. And imagine now seeing the recording of that CCTV camera. What you have to understand is, whatever the camera has recorded has really happened. Okay? But whatever has not been recorded has never happened. It has all happened in your mind. So the father telling the son, I think you're an idiot, has happened. The father said that. That's a different thing. You can talk to him saying that, Dad, you should not talk to me like this. I feel very demotivated. That's a different thing. But my dad doesn't love me. He's biased. He doesn't care for me. No, this has not happened. This is all happening in your head, in your imagination, right? And do this exercise every time you're upset, you're depressed, like you had a fight with a friend, like or your girlfriend, you broke up in a relationship, whatever. She says something or you said something, whatever, doesn't matter. But imagine when you go back home and you're upset about the whole thing, just imagine a camera there and record that incident. What happened that day? See, I was sitting here, she was sitting there. This is what I told, this is what she said, right? And whatever other than that is not happened, not recorded, has not happened. It is just happening in your mind, right? That is the role which this mind plays with you. Are everybody getting it? And if you are getting it, just drop a quick yes. Wherever you are on Visual platform, you are just drop in yes, so that that's the only way of connecting with you guys. So I just want to make sure that you are getting it. Okay, so that brings us to another thing. Like we keep talking about like a lot many students out here. So I just want to bring this up. So like we're talking about meanings, what meaning to give. Remember, it is your choice. What meaning you want to give is your choice. You can give a positive meaning or a negative meaning. That's your choice. So don't blame anybody. You have the choice to give whatever meaning you want in your life to whatever incidents. So there are people who meet with accidents, you see, right? Who lost their leg and then they became world champions. How? They could have given a meaning saying that, oh, my life is so depressing, and stuff like that. But he didn't give that meaning. He said, I lost one leg, but I have the other three parts of the body. And so the meaning which you give to your life, to every incident of your life, will decide where you go in life. So it's a matter of choice. So that brings up to another important thing, and that is we can also talk about success and failure here, right? So a lot of words play around in our life with a lot of negative meaning. So let's look at the meaning of failure. Like you all are going to face some failure or the other in your life, because I'll tell you what, if you're not going to face failure, that means you're not doing anything, man. Very simple. So be happy if you're going to face failure. Be thrilled about it. That means you're trying, you're doing something about it. Be very happy. So all of the students who brought this program together, okay, it's a huge thing. Getting so many speakers for 7 days, it's not easy, right? Imagine what if they had thought that they're going to fail. What will happen if they fail? Okay, so they might fail. Some of the lectures will not happen. Something might go wrong. Doesn't matter. But if you see what has happened is, whatever they tried, the effort they made is giving good results. There are so many people watching this event. They benefit a lot. So many, it will help a lot of people. So what is failure? Failure is not you and me. This is the problem. Failure is an event. So, like many people wanted to get up for a walk today morning, go for a walk. Okay. They planned everything and thought, okay, I'll go out today morning and go for this walk. What happened? You could not get up. What happened? It was an event in the morning in which you failed. But throughout the day, there are many other events where you will succeed. So you get up in the morning, you have to go for a meeting in the office. That meeting will go good. So that event went good. So it is event during the day. And what happens during the end of the day, I'll tell you. There are 10 events in the day, like getting up in the morning. Then suppose there was a meeting in the office. Then you had some on call. Then you had some reports to be sent. So suppose there are 10 events in the office. And out of that, 6 went well. 4 did not go well. 4 events failed. You did not fail, remember. Only the events failed. See what happens to people. Out of 10, if 7 succeed, 7 events succeed, and 3 events fail, so they feel okay in the evening. They're overjoyed, like they're happy. But if 3 events succeed and 7 fail, in the evening they're depressed. But what has happened? Try to understand. Only events have failed. So then tomorrow morning, what is going to happen? 7 events will click and 3 events will fail. That's okay. I hope everybody is getting it. Yeah. So failure basically is an event. It's not you. So people start calling themselves, oh, I am a failure at relationship. I was talking to somebody said this. How can you be at a failure at relationship? Your certain events in your relationship failed. Like in a father-son relationship, husband-wife relationship. Sometimes on a given day, 10 times you interact with that person. Okay. 2 or 3 times you will have a fight, but other 6, 7 times you're fine. Right? So how come you became a failure? So in your whole life, in that relationship, there would be 100 times you had a wonderful time. You laughed, you went for vacations, and you had an absolute blast. And there were like 10% of the time where you failed in that relationship. How can you call yourself a failure? Right? So this is another thing I would like to bring to all of you. Please stop calling yourself failure. There are events which fail, and which is fine. Because what happens is, when events fail, especially, it fails because of the action. Okay? It fails because of the action. And so what happens is, you have to take new action. Don't bring down your goal. Remember this. Take new actions. Right? So if I have to sum it up, like, for example, I was talking about what game are you playing and what action are you taking, right? So make sure your action is consistent to the game you are playing. Simple. And once that is true, probably your success rate will go up. So it's a matter of choices. So in a day, what happens is you make a lot of choices. Like, so so suppose you're on a business deal. So you chose some decision, like I do like this, I do like this. So it went wrong and you failed in your business that particular day. That deal did not go through. So what has happened is you chose some actions which did not work, right? And you chose some actions which was wrong, because of which you failed that day, right? Slowly, what will happen is, because of experience, your choice of actions will improve. Remember this, and this is standard process for everybody. For some people, it happens fast, right? Slowly, your choice of actions will go to improve. That means your success rate will go to improve, and the speed of your success will also improve, right? So, only thing you have to focus on is choosing the right actions. Remove the tag of I am a failure. You and I are never a failure. Okay, failure is not a noun. Please, it's not a person. It is an event. So when you make a series of right choice of action, you succeed. Simple, as simple as that, right? So that brings you to almost. I'll touch on another important topic for all of you, which is very close to my heart, and I'll do that with a question for all of you. And that question is, where do you exist? Okay, that question I'm asking to you is, where do you exist? What is the basis of your existence? Where do you exist? Now, I know many of you will tell me answers like, I exist in this universe, I exist in the mind, I exist in the heart, and nothing right and wrong. There's no right and wrong answer here. So whatever comes to your mind is fine. Okay. So my question was, where do you exist? EXIST, exist, right? And like I said, there are millions of answers to that. I exist in my parents' house, my mother's heart, my wife's heart, my daughter's heart, and I'm just saying all of them are fine. I'm just going to give you my perspective on this one thing, and they're very important. If you get this, a lot of things in your life will get sorted, and you will really brilliantly grow. Okay. So you exist. You don't exist anywhere else, according to me. Okay. You exist in other people's world. You exist in your world. Now, I'll give you an example. Now, after seeing this session, there are like 15-20,000 people on this live on this session, right? I don't know. I mean, good 80-90% probably. Because I don't know. I mean, who are joining? They're all across the country and across the globe. You all are going to go and tell somebody about me, saying that Ravi Nair was like this. He was good, he was bad, he was okay, he was average, he was excellent, he was whatever, right? Now, if you see what has happened here is, I got created in your world. Now, the other 30-40,000 people who want to hear about me from you have never seen me, they never heard me, but I am going to be created in your world. You are going to create a Ravi Nair for those people. Tomorrow, when I do a session somewhere else in the world, and those guys happen to hear my name, they might say, oh, yeah, I've heard about it. Somebody said X, Y, Z about Ravi, whatever that thing is. So, if you ask, where do I exist? I exist in your world. I exist in the world, right? Now, the second important thing, which I want to tell you, who is responsible for the creation? Me. How I create myself in your world is up to me. Like, for example, this session is about to start at a particular time, right? 12:15. And I was told, please come in by 12:15 so that I get to settle down. Whatever. I was there at bang 12:10. Suppose I come at 12:30. I don't come on time. What will all these 50-20,000 people go and tell somebody? That this man is indisciplined. He doesn't come on time. So what happened here? I got created in your world. I got created as an indisciplined person. And whom should I blame? Tomorrow I come to know one of you went and told somebody that, oh, Ravi Nair is indisciplined, right? Can I come and ask you, why did you say this? No, because I created that. I am the source of creation. I created myself in a certain way. I conducted myself in a certain way that led to that creation, right? So I cannot blame you. I am responsible for that creation. I hope everybody is getting it. So you are your word. So like for example, one of you, I come and speak to your parents. I tell you, like like I'm going to meet your son. Tell something about me. Your parents might say, "Oh, he's very disciplined. He's a very nice boy. He's very loving. He takes care of us." Or he might say, "Yeah, he's okay, but he doesn't do his own stuff. We have to go after him." Or he's very lazy and stuff like that. Whatever. Don't blame them. You got created in their world because of the way you conducted yourself, because your existence in other people's world. So you yourself cannot come and tell me. I cannot come and tell you, oh, I'm good, I'm brilliant, I'm this, that. I cannot do that. It doesn't work, right? I have to create myself. I get created in your world. And even if I do anything, like I try to act nice, you will go and create me the way you felt. That is another important thing to understand. I can create any way I want. Like I can fake. I do this, that. I can try to fake. Doesn't matter. But you are going to create whatever you feel. If that day when you interacted with me, you felt nice about it. You felt nice about talking to me. You got something of value. Then you will create something out there. Think, oh, I met Ravi sir and whatever, Ravi Nair, and he was good. He gave me this kind of information, and it helped me. So every moment of your life, for all the kids there, for the parents there, remember that. Like. You give a word to somebody, like you say that I will do it by this time, right? I'll do it by this day. You get created in that person's word. So many a time in corporates, I'll tell you what happens. Like I've been in many panels where we where we discuss promotions for staff and all that. So there is a particular situation where I was sitting on a session and these guys were the people on the board, but they're talking about one person, one of the senior vice president. And two of them said, he's absolutely brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant at work. I mean, you can't just beat him. He's damn good. But in the end, they said, but he's not reliable. And everybody was shocked. So why? Because he says like suddenly he'll bunk. He says coming on a particular day to office, but he'll not come to the office. He'll not report. He'll say he'll send a report on time, but he'll not send a report on time. So he's not reliable. Now you see what happened. That gentleman who's so good at his work got created as a non-reliable person in the language of these two people, and the other three people on the panel did not know that person at all. He just seen in the organization, we know he's working, he's a good senior guy, huge organization, like that 20,000 employees. So these three people on the panel did not know that person at all, that senior VP. But these two people commented, they're saying that he's good, he does his job, but he's not reliable. So what finally they decided was, we'll give him an increment, we'll give him extra money, but we'll not promote him to a responsible position because he's not reliable. If you ask me who's responsible for that creation, that same man. Because remember, he never knew that he existed in other people's world. That is the only way where I and you exist. So friends, this brings me to another important topic. That is, you also exist in your own world. Remember this. You also exist in your own world. You create yourself. So every time you say, I am depressed, I am sad, nothing is going to happen, my life is, you are creating yourself. Your body is listening to you. Remember what I told in the beginning. Your body doesn't understand what is real or imaginary. It starts believing. Slowly. So you see what happens in the case of people who get depressed. When they start the journey of depression, in the beginning they start saying, don't know, I think life is not going to really help and not going to work for me. Slowly the body starts believing that. Slowly you see there is a dip in their body language. Like they start dropping their shoulder, they start avoiding groups of people. The body is responding to that thought. Remember that. I told you, the body doesn't understand if you're really depressed or you're really sad or you're really happy. It just behaves. So the depression process starts. Then you start thinking, hey, I don't know, luck is not in my favor. It is always my bad luck. Yeah, I don't know what. Now your body is listening to it. Like I said, anything you say after the word I am is creating yourself. So like I said, your body doesn't understand what you're thinking or creating is real or imaginary. It believes it is true and it creates it, friends. So be very watchful about your thought, right? So the best thing to do is create yourself the way you want it. There are a lot of affirmations you can tell yourself. I have a couple on my website. It's free. I'll just give it to you. But whenever you talk, okay, be very careful. Like, stop saying these things like I'm unlucky. I'm sad. I'll give you a classic example. I don't know if there's a recording out there, but like many years back, I think I read it somewhere. What happened was somebody was interviewing Gauri Khan, okay, Shah Rukh Khan's wife, and they asked her they asked her to tell him something about Shah Rukh Khan, which is very personal, which nobody knows. So it seems, I don't know if it was Gauri or who, but she said that Shah Rukh Khan gets up in the morning every day and he stands in front of the mirror and he says, "I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best," right? So what this interviewer did was, after a couple of months, he met Shah Rukh Khan and he asked him. He said, "Sir, we heard this, that every day morning you get up and the first thing you do is stand in front of the mirror and say, 'I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best.'" And he said, "Yeah, I do that." And he said that those days when I was doing it, I was not the best, but today I'm the best. I'm the king. I'm the king of Bollywood. Irrespective of whether you like Shah Rukh Khan or not, he has made his mark in the Bollywood industry, right? Like he has been successful as a Bollywood superstar, right? Now, what I'm trying to tell you is like I said, I'm not getting into how his movies are good, bad, whether you like it or not like it, or whatever. What I'm trying to say is, he has created himself. Remember this. And when you create yourself a certain way, the universe starts working with you. The entire universe starts getting in sync to create that for you. So suppose you keep believing in yourself that I'm the best, I'm great, I can do this. The universe starts conspiring to make it a reality for you. That is something you have to understand. And that is the reason it is very important that, because conditions play a very important role, guys. Like there are 15-20,000 people on this show right now. Everybody is coming from a different background. Like some of them are financially backward or economically backward. Some have gone to vernacular medium, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Remember, you can create yourself. Okay, because you can program in a certain way as you grow up, but you can reprogram yourself. And this is called the reprogramming process. When you keep telling yourself again and again, you get reprogrammed. Slowly, your body starts believing. Remember this. I given you two examples where I showed you very clearly that how your body responds to thoughts, right? So when you start saying this again and again, your body starts responding. Your body starts responding to the thoughts, and slowly you become that man you want to be. I really hope everybody has got quite a gist of what I was trying to put across. And I'll just call on Alita, or who's going to host. I think we'll keep some more time for the questions, that is what I prefer to do. If any of you have any questions, because a motivation session actually can go on for for a whole day. But one of the things which I want to tell everybody is you need to self-motivate yourself here, because not many people in the world are there really. See, people all join you when you start getting successful. Always remember this. When you're on that initial stage of life where you're struggling, fighting, and really trying to grow up, right? You won't find people motivating. There are like very few people in your family, your friends will come and say, "Yeah, you can do it, you can do it." And of course, we don't know how much conviction or commitment they have to tell you that also. But once you grow, then there is a whole world coming to motivate you. So there are two important things. I'm not trying to discourage you. You just have to work hard and keep motivating yourself till the time you click somewhere, and then the whole world will come after you. That struggle is only to a certain point. And so you need to keep yourself self-motivated. Keep telling yourself, "I'm the best, I can do it." And most of the big stars, a lot of successful people, and actually done that. And that is the reason I tell people that irrespective of your conditioning, what is your background, doesn't matter. If you decide to become a millionaire, if you decide to become a successful man, if you want to create an institution or enterprise, which is like, for whatever it is, or you want to do some big charity work, whatever, nobody can stop you, man. So friends, that's pretty much from my side, and I will request the host to check out if people have questions, and if they need to pass it to the host or ask me directly, whatever. It's fine with me.
A very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, sir. It was indeed a very motivational lecture. Sir, you rightly said that failures are just events. Sir, we have some questions that we have lined up for you from the various platforms on which we are live right now. So, sir, here's the first question. In the times of COVID situations, me and my fellow friends are really concerned about our future academics. Sir, can you suggest any plan B and how to plan that?
So, so firstly, I'll tell you, you can have any number of plans, but don't change your goal. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm a strong believer of stick to a plan A all the time. Because I'll tell you what happens most of the time when you have a goal, right? And you keep it on. Like many people do this in life. Oh, if I can't do this, I'll do that. Backup plan. Don't do that. So there are two things here. One is a goal. One is your plan, right? Stick to your goal. Come what may. Your goals cannot change. Because what will happen is, I tell you how the mind works. The moment you have a goal B, your mind, your subconscious mind actually, is at comfort right now, saying that, oh, I have a goal B. A nahi hoga, so I'll compromise and do this here. So make sure your goals are fixed. Once you decide, I'll become a musician. That's it. I am going to be a musician. Okay, now there are a lot of plans you'll make, small strategies. Let me do this, let me go to YouTube, let me sing a song on YouTube, whatever. You can change those plans if you want. That's fine. But you cannot change that. Don't change the. I will not say you cannot, because that's your individual choice. But I would say don't change your goal. The goal, you can change your plans and strategies in between, but no changing of the goal. So I'll just give you a small example. Most of the times I'll tell you why people are not able to achieve their goals. So I will call a goal as a game. Okay, let's call it a game. A game you are playing. So suppose you have a goal in mind that I should become I should get admission in certain university, whatever it is, like, or I have to get a job in a Google or something like that, or create my own company, whatever. So that's a game you are playing right now. Okay, what you have to see is what is the game you're playing and what are the actions required for that game. So for that, I'll give you a classic example, because in India people love cricket. So let's take the example of a 5-day cricket. Now, what is the actions required for a 5-day cricket? You have to play slowly. You have to have a lot of patience. You have to have temperament, right? You have to take around 3 or 4 days. Okay. So this action is fine, right? Now comes the next game, which is a test one day matches, right? In that 50-over match, if you call it 50-over match. So in that, what happens? You need to play a bit faster, right? Now I'll see you a classic example. What happened? Sunil Gavaskar was one of the the king of Test cricket, right? So he just matched the Test cricket. So everybody loved him. People, the world, universe accepted him as a master of Test cricket. When the 50-50 game format came in, he was not able to adjust his actions to the 50-50 format. He did play 50-50 format. People started saying, boss, you're very slow. It doesn't work for us. Now he's a great cricketer, all respect to him, but his actions were not consistent to the game he was playing, which was 50-50. So people like Dravid and Sachin Tendulkar revolved. Okay, of course, they all are great players. I'm not taking anything away from them. But I'm just saying, if your actions are not consistent with the game you're playing, you lose out. You have to understand. So now people like Dravid came in, they had certain actions which worked for the game of 50-50. So everybody started loving them. Then came 2020, which required totally different actions, that you come in and start blasting left, right, center, right? So what happened for people like Dravid? They were good, excellent, technically the best batsmen in the world, but they could not adapt their actions to the 2020 format. And so somebody like Sehwag, who could adapt his actions, whose actions were like the game, he became a master. So all cricketers are great. I love and respect to all of them. I'm a big cricket fan. What I want to bring out is your actions need to be consistent with the game you're playing. That is important. So whatever game you're playing, like any big game, always remember, check out the actions. Look at people who are playing a similar game. Simple. If you want to become an entrepreneur in a certain field, look at certain people who are playing that game. How do they carry themselves? What do they do? What platforms are they on? Are they on LinkedIn? What the Facebook? What are they posting? What are they talking about? And that is a way to go. Just go ahead. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So the second question is, COVID-19 has caused a huge number of deaths. So, sir, as per the situation right now, that the people are praying for the well-being of their families, what do you think will be the probable future, and what should we do to prepare for it?
So I would say, first of all, prayers only do not work.
Yeah.
Let me tell you very clearly. Prayers alone do not work.
Yes.
So let me tell you, a lot of people, when I was coaching somebody recently, he said, I'm such a religious guy. I pray to God. I don't know why this is happening to me. Who said if you're praying, things won't happen to you? Okay, so I'll tell you a small story. I think that's the best way to put this across. There was once a man in a small town, and he was a big devotee of Lord Shiva. So he used to pray, like, he's an ardent fan of Lord Shiva. So every day morning he spent 3 hours praying to the God, and like evening also he'll pray to the God. But he was very poor. Okay, he didn't have money. So and he never used to work hard. So he will pick up odd jobs here and there, like once in a while, and he'll manage his day. And some days he used to sleep hungry. So one day, Shiva and Parvati, this is a story, okay, to bring out a message. So don't take it religiously. It's just an example. So one day, Shiva and Parvati were sitting, and Parvati told Shiva, I really don't understand. This man is such a big devotee of yours. He prays you every day, 3 hours, and you just not giving him any good luck. There is nothing called as good luck. There's nothing called as good luck. When opportunity meets hard work, these people on this planet call it as good luck. I have not created any good luck. He says when opportunity meets hard work, it is called as good luck. And that is what these people call. I have not created anything. So she says, no, I don't believe you. I believe that if you want, as a Lord, as a God, you can help this man. He says if people don't work hard, okay, that opportunity is only 1%, 99% is hard work. I said if people don't work hard, I can't help you. So Parvati says, I don't believe you. Okay. So Shiva said, okay, let's do one thing. Tomorrow morning, when this man does his normal prayer and comes out of the temple, I will keep a big pot of gold in front of his steps, and the steps of the temple only. Let him take that gold and go away. Right? Now this is what you want, right? Let's help him out. So Parvati said, fine, I'm very happy, let's do that. I'm so happy you did it for me. And it had to happen because all husbands have to listen to the wife here. Even if it is God, doesn't matter. See, that's another important point. All guys, you get married, please try to understand this very important point. So next day morning, the prayers are over, and as promised, this man is coming out of the temple. Shiva keeps a big pot of gold there, and he tells Parvati, see, now this is what I did. So this man comes out of the temple, and he sees another man crossing the road from the other side, and he is blind. That man is crossing the road, and this man sees him and says, oh my God, how sad, yeah. What would be the life of a blind man? I mean, how will he be living his life, sorry. It is so sad. He said, I really want to experience the life of a blind man. So what he does, he takes out his shawl and ties it around his eyes. And he says to himself, today I will go blindfolded right up to my house, just to experience it. So he walks down the steps, and he walks like this, and he starts crossing the road. And he misses the pot of gold. So Shiva tells Parvati, did I not tell you? If you don't work hard in this, if you don't work hard, the luck factor, the opportunity is only 1%. But for that 1%, the 99% has to be there. So all those people out there, who are only praying, thinking that God will do something, there's nothing called as good luck. Your hard work, 99%, will open the door for that 1% opportunity. And then you'll call it as good luck. But if the 99% is missing, that 1% is never going to come. So that's one way of, I thought telling a story would really help, and that makes it easy for people to understand. So I hope.
Yes, sir, you have cleared many doubts in my head right now. Okay, sir. The third question, as we know, you have published a book called Weekend Miracle. So the question is, how was your journey as a writer?
Oh, it's brilliant. A very good question you asked. I said I would encourage all the people out there, all the people who are like 15, 20,000 people, students who are listening. Please write a book. Be it on any subject. Let me tell you, it is the easiest thing to do. While writing, you might think, oh my God, likhega, who will publish? I'll tell you, just start writing it, and everything will start falling in place. Like I'll tell you some of the challenges I faced. I started writing this book, and after 10, 15 days, I said, I don't know, book ka cover kaisa dikhega? How will the book cover look? What will the title? And I said, oh my God, so much of headache here. You know what I did? I went to Google. I typed a line. I think that what are the difficulties in writing a book? And there are 10,000 people who wrote and told me that first thing will happen is you start worrying about all the wrong things. What is the title? What is the color? How will people read? This is the last thing you should think about. Everything will fall in place. So to tell you one thing, I'll encourage everybody to write a book. Pick up any subject, like my relationship with my father, my relationship with my mother, my childhood days. Pick up any subject which you like, which really makes you happy. Start writing a book. Don't worry about publication. All that. It will all happen. And one thing will happen to you is I tell you, you'll evolve as a human being. You really evolve as a, because for this writing this book, it took me like 3-4 months only to write a book, which is like quite long. Maybe even write it very early also. But I really evolved as a person. Research, a lot of thoughts came to mind. What happens? What will happen when the subconscious? How does the subconscious mind work? So I'll tell you what will happen is you'll grow 10 times more when you write a book, and that's what happened to me. That was my journey. To answer your question, I literally grew 10 times more.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable response and even gracing our event. It's indeed a great honor for us to have you, sir, on our panel. Once again, a very thank you to you. Now, I would like Ms. Shetty, yes, sir. Now, I would like Ms. Shetty to propose the vote of thanks for Mr. Ravi Nair, sir. Over to Ms. Shetty.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your knowledge and guiding us. I'm sure that your talk has made a meaningful contribution in the understanding of how motivation works for different people. This, I'm sure, will enhance the personalities of all those who have been paying keen attention not just to Nair sir's compelling discourse, but to his charismatic personality. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our multifaceted speaker for the day, Mr. Ravi Nair, for sparing his valuable time in order to guide us and help us find the right path. I would also like to thank all the participants who have helped us make this event a successful one by their presence. Before I conclude, a gentle reminder about the schedule for tomorrow. We have Mr. Prashant Mali and Mr. Vikas Pandit Rao lined up for tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you all for tomorrow's session at 11 a.m. Make sure you like and subscribe our channel on YouTube and follow us on Instagram for further updates. Thank you and stay safe.